Hello, it's me, the universe storyteller, once again. Today's video will bring you face to face with the loneliest and most desperate coordinates in the universe. Position 10. Point Nemo. Deep in the South Pacific lurks a point on Earth's surface that outstrips every other location for sheer distance from land. Dubbed Point Nemo, it sits roughly 2,688 kilometers from the nearest shore, earning it the title of the most remote, cut-off spot on the planet. Named after Jules Verne's famous captain in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Point Nemo was first pinned down by Hrvoje Lukatela, a Croatian-Canadian survey engineer, back in 1992. Set foot here, and you'll run smack into a deeply counterintuitive fact. Your closest neighbor isn't bobbing somewhere on the waves, they're soaring overhead. Those would be the astronauts aboard the International Space Station, circling Earth 400 kilometers up. Stranded here alone, could you even call for help? Sure, with a satellite phone, you could beam your exact coordinates straight to a rescue center. The whole world would know precisely where you are. But that's exactly when the real horror of Point Nemo's isolation sinks in. Helicopters can't make the trip. Every commercial flight path swerves around this dead zone entirely. A rescue ship is your only shot, and even barreling forward full throttle around the clock, it'll take at least half a month to reach you. And if you're thinking no sweat, I'll just live off fish, bad news on that front too. Ocean currents seal this place off, turning it into a genuine marine desert. Nutrients run so thin down there that almost nothing swims. Rogue planet. A normal planet like Earth never strays from its star, orbiting faithfully, which is what gives it day and night, summer and winter, a home to always circle back to. A rogue planet plays by none of those rules. Forged in a violent gravitational free-for-all between colliding planetary systems, or slingshotted out of orbit by a star passing too close for comfort, it ends up an orphan of the cosmos, cut loose with no star to call its own. Astronomers suspect billions of these wanderers haunt the Milky Way. Spotting them is brutally hard. They cast no light of their own. We catch them only on the rare occasion they slip in front of a distant star and bend its light ever so slightly with their gravity. Out here, night isn't a fleeting visitor, it's a permanent fixture, baked into the physics of the place. The planet drifts through space, chilled to nearly absolute zero, around minus 273 degrees Celsius. The Boötes Void. Back in 1981, a team of astronomers set out to map where galaxies sit across the cosmos. What they stumbled on stopped them cold. A stretch of space almost completely scoured clean, spanning roughly 330 million light-years. This patch earned the name the Boötes Void, and a far chillier nickname besides, the Great Nothing. To grasp the scale, picture dropping our entire Milky Way smack in the middle of it. Our galaxy packs 100 to 400 billion stars, staggering by any measure. Yet inside the Boötes Void, it would shrink down to a single grain of sand lost in an empty stadium. A civilization unlucky enough to call this region home might genuinely believe they're the only ones in existence. There'd be next to nothing else in sight. Out here, any signal beamed into the dark would bleed out, thin to nothing, and vanish into the sheer scale of the void. The Boötes Void serves up a chilling reminder. A sky crammed with stars doesn't mean the universe is crowded everywhere. Plenty of corners out there sit eerily, almost unnervingly empty. And in that emptiness, even silence swells until it's too vast to bear. Position 7. The hypervelocity star. This star started out unremarkable, looping around the galactic center same as hundreds of billions of its siblings. Then a freak stroke of cosmic bad luck struck. A chance, gravitational close encounter with the supermassive black hole Sagittarius A times at the Milky Way's heart sent it rocketing away like a fired bullet, clocking in at roughly 1,700 kilometers per second. Put another way, that's nearly 60 times faster than Earth zips around the sun. That speed blows clean past the galaxy's escape velocity. No gravitational pull, not even the combined might of 100 billion stars, can reel it back in. Tens of millions of years from now, it'll still be barreling onward, a permanent drifter that never looks back, plunging alone into the empty gulf between galaxies. Position 6. Voyager. Launched back in 1977, Voyager 1 has now clocked over 24 billion kilometers, still pressing onward at about 17 kilometers per second through interstellar space. Glance back from where it sits, and the sun, once our source of warmth, has shrunk down to just another speck among billions of stars. Its nuclear battery is running on fumes, slowly stripping away its sight and hearing as it drifts through the deep dark. Once that final spark of power gives out, it'll slip into permanent, unbroken silence. It'll carry humanity's entire legacy along with it, a cold gravestone tumbling soundlessly through the universe's dark woods. Look at it one way, and Voyager 1 proves we were once here. Look at it the other way, and it's a message in a bottle, a farewell note set adrift on the cosmic tide that nobody may ever fish out, even billions of years from now. Position 5. The Great Attractor. This is a gravitational anomaly buried deep in space, roughly 150 to 250 million light-years out. Crowned the central core of the Laniakea supercluster, it hauls our Milky Way, along with hundreds of thousands of other galaxies, toward it at a clip of about 2.2 million kilometers per hour. Packed with matter, it wields gravitational authority that reigns over hundreds of millions of light-years, and yet, for all that power, it's profoundly alone. Why? Because it skulks in the galaxy's darkest reaches, buried behind thick curtains of dust. Think of it as a tyrant with absolute power. It draws everything toward itself, yet sits forever behind that veil, never once revealing its true face. That's a particular flavor of loneliness, the kind reserved for someone surrounded by noise yet understood by no one. Isolation at the icy summit of power. Every galaxy strains toward it, and still, nobody can say for sure what it actually is. Position 4. The edge of the observable universe. This boundary comes down to sight and time. Space keeps stretching faster and faster, and at distances of roughly 16 billion light-years out, that expansion outpaces light itself. The upshot: starlight from beyond that line will never reach Earth. Not now, not ever. It wouldn't matter how dazzling a civilization out there might be, or how loudly they tried to call out to us. The laws of physics have already slammed the door shut, exiling them from our observable universe for good. Against that cosmic divide, even light throws up its hands. Some things are simply fated never to cross paths. Position Tray. Milkomeda. Milkomeda splices together Milky Way and Andromeda, two galaxies already on a collision course. Trillions of years down the line, they'll finish merging into one sprawling galaxy. And when that happens, the night sky will blaze with billions of freshly mingled stars. But that triumphant moment doubles as the peak of the universe's runaway expansion. Dark energy will hurl every other galaxy cluster outward at light speed, showing no mercy. If a civilization happened to look up at that moment, they'd find nothing but pure, lifeless black overhead. They'd land on a conclusion both tragic and dead wrong, that they're utterly alone in existence. The Big Bang and every trace of the universe's grand architecture will have been wiped clean by time. They'd be locked forever inside the universe's biggest lie. Position 2. The Pale Blue Dot. On February 14, 1990, Voyager 1 was cruising roughly 6 billion kilometers from Earth. That's when astronomer Carl Sagan talked NASA into something that seemed pointless at the time. Swing the spacecraft's camera around for one last look back home. The result became one of the most iconic photographs in the history of cosmology, the pale blue dot. In that frame, Earth doesn't loom large at all. It shrinks down to a faint speck, barely 0.12 pixels wide, swallowed up in a hazy streak of sunlight glinting off the camera lens. Stripped down to its essence, our entire world reduces to a fleck of dust lost in the dark. And the truly unsettling part isn't black holes, exploding stars, or galaxies smashing together. None of those things know loneliness. They simply burn, collapse, and fade out, following physics blindly. Real loneliness belongs to us alone, a small species clinging to that 0.12 pixel speck. Day after day, we tilt our heads back, fire radio signals into the void, and ask one simple question: is anyone out there? And nearly every time, silence is all that answers back. Position 1. The twilight of the black hole era. Push far enough into the future that the numbers stop meaning anything, and every star has burned out, every atom has decayed away. Only black holes remain, once the hungriest tyrants the universe ever produced, and even they slowly bleed away through Hawking radiation, until the very last one blinks out into the endless dark. At that point, the universe loses every last marker for measuring time. No events remain to separate before from after. Everything settles into one flat, uniform temperature, a state physicists call the universe's heat death. There's no room left even for the word loneliness, since that requires someone around to feel it. Here, the last observer has long since vanished, along with everything else.